Hello, this is Chaba, and today I'm going to show you how to create game-ready eyebrows for your character in under a few minutes. It's going to be an easy tutorial, so let's get started. Okay, so just like last time with the hair, we are going to borrow some assets from Unreal's documents. If you're not familiar with this method, you can check my other video for more info. But I also included the necessary two free sites to make the separation of the red channel and to make the black and white combat. You can just basically need a simple project with a meta-human in our scene. I'm using the same as last time, Daniela. Anyway. What we will need today is just two simple textures, nothing more. So for that, go to MetaHuman, Common, Female Hair, Textures, Eyebrows, Compact, and we need the Atlas, not the Tangent. The other one we need is the eyelashes, but we will only use that in the next video that is focusing on the eyelashes. For that there will be only one texture, so it's pretty straightforward. For the eyebrows, again, we need only the red channel. For the eyelashes, it doesn't matter. You don't have to convert that. Let's just right click, Asset Actions, and export. Same for the eyebrows. And as I said, for the eyebrows, use the size provided below just like last time to get your red channel, then convert it to a black and white texture. Only this way we can receive the alpha texture that we want. For the eyebrows, search for references and try to separate the similar flow of the hair strands into sections, because this is how we are going to break down the eyebrow into smaller sections to speed up the process. For example, in this random reference, like I do here. As you can see, they are flowing in different directions at different locations. So this is what we are going to mimic here. Now in Blender, create a new collection, call it Eyebrows, outer plane, rotate it by 90 on the x-axis, scale it down and place it where you want your eyebrows. Make it as close as possible. Add the shrink wrap modifier, eyedrop on the character, add a subdivision, move it to first. You can hide it, turn on snapping and select face. At visibility settings, you should turn in front. Now start extruding it along the path that should roughly represent your desired eyebrow shape. Make it a bit thinner and select the whole upper edge with Alt left click and extrude it upwards. Try to make the shape more defined now. You can turn off in front, go to the shrink wrap modifier and at snap mode select outside surface or above surface. And type a really small number for the offset. The plane should really just barely outside of the surface of your mesh. I'm adding a mirror modifier just to check if it looks good. You don't have to. Okay, seems good. Let's turn on subdivision and apply it. Move vertices if needed. Let's just smooth this out for good measure. With the plane selected, go to particles, add the particle system, select hair. Set hair length approximately twice as the size of your needs, because we are going to cut it in half later on. We need a lot of faces because we want to emit the particles from the faces itself. That's why we need the subdivision. Set the number to 0, we don't want any particles. Let's go to the particle edit, select add, leave keys on 5, at count type in 1. Now add particles one by one, don't make it tight, space them out. It can be uniform as well. You don't need that much. Okay, that's done. Go to comb, make the brush larger and comb it according to the reference, or follow mine. Okay, first one is done. Go to object mode, under modifiers, convert it to mesh. Now hide that mesh, go to particle edit again, use the cut tool and remove all of that. Now we can align the mesh we converted so we can see our first batch of hairs without interfering our workflow. Now similar thing, start adding particles with a very slight overlap. Make it a bit more dense but still maintain reasonable spacing. This is the middle part, so make more of it. Okay, we are going to use the comb again, but this time we are going to comb it in a different direction. Slightly curled up, where it leans towards the ears and the shape of the head. Looks good. Object mode, convert to mesh, hide the meshes, select the plane, cut again, unhide the meshes. I think you get the idea now. So let's make another one. We are at the tip, so make only a few of them. This time we can use the shrink option as well to imitate the fading out of the hairs. Make the brush large again and slightly push it inwards. Then comb it a bit upwards. Same process, convert to mesh. I'm going to add one more to the beginning of the eyebrows. I'm going to shrink it a bit and comb it upwards towards the middle of the forehead, be leaning out a bit, and maybe just shrink it a bit more. Okay, convert it again, and I'm just going to create one last one for a little extra variation. I'm going to comb this one slightly upwards. Okay, now first part is done. We can now hide the plane and we will not need that, but keep it just in case if you want to add more. Now select all of them, go to Object and go back to Curve. Select the first one and go to Curve Options and extrude them. You should extrude it relatively small like mine here. Now open this drop down menu, Start and End Mapping. And we will use the end mapping. This is how we will cut it, but you have to choose the right amount, because currently if you would convert this back to mesh without the use of mapping, then it would consist of 4 planes. But we don't want that much polygons, it has to be game ready, so we have to watch out for the polygon count. We'll try to maintain some shape and flexibility for the haircuts. That's why we are using this, and since 1 equals 4 planes, 0.75 should be 3 planes, 0.5 should represent 2 planes, and 0.25 would be 1 plane. But this is not the case, because as I found out, Blender cannot really decide what to do with it, because it's exactly in the middle of the breaking point. So it chooses the bigger value always, which will result in a 3 planes in a case of 0.5. So what we need to do here is set it just slightly lower. In our case, set it to 0.49, and this will result exactly 2 planes. We will set the others as well in a second, but first let me align this one slightly with a little tilt with Ctrl T. Okay, now let's extrude the others as well with the same amount that our first mesh. And now let's copy and paste the end mapping value to all the other curves as well. Now, since we created our combing separately, therefore we don't need to tilt any other meshes. This is one of the reasons why I'm doing it like that. Okay, next select all curves and convert them to mesh. Open another window, set it to UV editor. This is what we want to see here. Open another window, select the mesh, create a material, call it eyebrows. Let's check the shader, add an image texture, set the color to a red bright value, so we can see what we are doing. Open our alpha from Unreal, plug it into the alpha, and start selecting the other meshes. Select the mesh that has the material last, then go here and press copy materials to select it. Now they are all heavy. Now let's go into edit mode on the first one, go to material preview, make sure all of them is selected, and in the UV window, scale them accordingly. And look for a hairstand that is similar to the reference, and make sure the rotation is correct, so rotate it by 90 on the X in the UV window. Okay, let's go to the other one, same thing, but look for more thinner one. Okay, next one, again, same thing, look for a curly thin one. Next. Okay, last one. It's good enough for now. Now we can change it to a black color or whatever color you need. You can go with full metallic. Before joining them, make sure every hair strand is looking fairly good. So make any changes that you want now, and even try to vary them inside the batches for more randomness. Select the whole pane with hovering over them and press L. And make sure face is selected. You can add a few more as well. We'll simply just duplicating them with Shift D. Don't be afraid to scale them here in the UV accordingly. Feel free to do it. You can also easily trim the unwanted haircuts with the same method, just hover over them, pressing L and deleting them. You can add a mirror now and keep it. And continue shaping and trimming. If you don't like the initial location or scale of the eyebrows, you can use the proportional editing to fix that. Obviously over the top movement will not work, that's why our initial shape should be good from the get-go. Just try to move them really slightly. Meanwhile, try to push them a little bit inside the skin. Now once it's looking good, we should select all and duplicate the whole mesh, and with proportional editing scale it up a bit. You can do this separately as well for extra variation, and you can probably do this one more time so you can have a total of 3 copies with the different scales and or with slight movement. This way we imitate the actual density of the eyebrows. But it's really important that you should look out for your triangle count while doing this. For game ready eyebrows, you shouldn't really go above this triangle count on one eyebrow. Of course, it's depending on your platform and realism you are aiming for, but as far as I believe, that is basically the AAA eyebrow limit, so keep this in mind. Okay, now the final touches is to just apply the mirror, go to edit mode, go to wireframe, box select the mirrored eyebrow, and with V separate it. If that's done, don't forget to apply all transforms and place the origin of the geometry for both eyebrows. Go to one of the eyebrows in edit mode and make slight differences to break uniformness, so the 2 eyebrows are not identical. And we are done. In the next video we are going to create the eyelashes, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching, I hope it helped, and see you on the next one.